There is a vast difference between living an egoic life and a divine life. A vast difference, a huge difference. The divine life, represented by the open hand, is a life that embraces all of life, all the ups and downs, all the ins and outs, all the opposites, all the dualities. The divine life is absolutely indifferent to what is arising right now, whether it's seen to be good or bad. In saying that, though, the open hand discriminates. You don't have to stay where you are right now. You can move on. But the majority of not staying where you are and moving on is egoic. It's an egoic reaction to the conditions of life. In this disposition, you don't react to the conditions of life. You respond. Responding is not the same as reacting. A reaction comes from this disposition, which is egoic, which is childish or adolescent. The disposition of the divine, this divine place, the place, this condition that we often call enlightenment, or one's true self, capital S, was never born and will never die. It's omniscient, omnipresent. And once the body-mind has been gracefully, or is gracefully allowed to live in this disposition, then there's no longer reactivity to life. In this disposition, you see and you move things, or you see and you change whatever you are seeing. Without any reaction, without any childish or adolescent nonsense added. And that adding comes from this contraction. We add contraction to life. We keep doing that nonsense, folding away from the divine place. One's true state and condition is this open hand disposition, the divine disposition. It's just inherent. It really is already happiness, already intimacy. Already, that's the key word. Right now, millions of people, I mean literally millions and millions of people are reacting to the conditions of life. There's very few that are intelligently responding to the conditions of life. Simple things are done consciously and beautifully. There's an attention to detail. There's a consciousness. The open hand is conscious. It's conscious of all that one's hands touch. It's conscious of what one's eyes sees. It's conscious. It is consciousness. The open hand disposition discriminates and once again responds. By the way, do you like my new look? I've been to Scotland for a week. So all of life can be testing. Every moment, every situation is changeable. There's changes. Now, I was speaking to a lady on the phone just now. She got irritated by that sound because I was unpacking some glasses that were wrapped up very neatly and nicely by a lady in the shop. 10 glasses. And of course the tissue was making that noise. And she got irritated by it. Are you getting irritated right now? I was listening to an Alan Watts video this morning. He kept talking about growing, growth, growing up. And I said to myself, I'm going to make a little video about growing, about growth. And I'm going to say that there's no, really, what is growing up? Well, I would say there's no growth in some respects. The open hand disposition does not grow up. The open hand disposition is already grown, is already mature, is already happiness. But egoically, with the egoic mindset, we're saying, oh, grow up, stop behaving like that. The person that is saying, grow up, stop behaving like that, is reacting. The person saying that should grow up. We're saying, stop being irritated. We're saying, stop being frustrated. Stop getting so angry and cross and grow up. Or we might say, behave yourself. That's happening all around the world right now. Just down the street, in the next town, in the next village, in the next road. We're told to grow up. Basically, we're being told to change your behaviour. Well, what I say as an awakened person, one who's awake, one who's enlightened, I'm enlightened to this and to this nonsense is one's doing. I say stop doing that so much. But the only way to stop doing the self-contraction, which is at the root of reactivity, which is at the root of irritations and frustrations and impatience and intolerance and no intimacy, no happiness, suffering. It's not just a case of simply saying, stop doing that contraction. Stop doing your unhappiness. Stop doing your suffering. Because that's what we're doing. We are doing, I say we, you are doing your suffering, your unhappiness, your depression, your boredom, your doubt, your discomfort, your pains. You're doing all of that. It's not just a case of saying, stop doing it. My teacher, Adidar Samvaj, said to me years ago, he didn't just say, stop doing your self-contraction. He said, beware, be conscious that you are doing your self-contraction, but don't put your attention on it. Turn away from it. And for years, that's what I've been practicing. Turn to me, he would say, because I am your true condition. I am the sunlight. I am your already happy state. And by turning to me, you will become, once again, you will be living as your already happy state. Already happiness is the case right now. Already happiness is a peaceful state. Already happiness is a no dilemma state. Already happiness is a no controlling state. You simply are in that place of indifference. There's an Indian saying, you become what you meditate on. So stop meditating on all this crap, all this nonsense. Turn away from it, because this is not real. It's temporary. It's fictitious. It's nonsense. It's not important. Be your true state of already happiness, no matter what is arising. So he would say, redirect your attention. Focus on me. Fall in love again. It's the way of the heart rather than the way of the mind. See, this disposition creates childishness and adolescentness. A child is always wanting someone to love them. A child is always wanting acceptance. Us adults are full of childish nonsense. And then there's the opposite, there's the other tendency to be adolescent, where you don't want to know anybody. You want to do it all on your own. You want to be independent. But there's no such thing as independency. No one's independent. I was going to say, believe me. So realize the truth of what I'm saying. Realize that you are already this happiness. Realize that you are doing the self-contraction, which is suffocating God, if you like, strangulating God. Jesus said, love God first. I say the same. Find your God, which is already happiness, and remain there. Live your life in that relationship with your chosen. What they say your chosen Ishta. And then you can be already happy, full of life, full of joy. This is not an illusion, this is real. Be free of all this nonsense. You're not dependent upon anybody, and you're not independent of anybody. You're not reliant on anyone, and you're not a lot reliant on anyone. It's all alreadiness. So go back and listen to this tape again at the beginning and hear what I'm saying. And because you are already happy, you're not seeking to be happy. And because you are already in love, you're not seeking to be loved. And because you are already intimate, you're not seeking to be intimate. It's one's inherent, innate state. That word inherent means one's state that isn't made, it's not conditional, it's not alien, it's one's true disposition, like wetness is the inherent state of water. Thank you for listening, and there's no better way to live than to be in this God state. So you are already ready to embrace, to work, to love, to serve, to listen, to play. The hands are already open. The body is already open. Thank you for listening. Listen to what Adidar has to say. Be liberated from this nonsense. He calls it the dreaded gombu. There's no cure for it other than to stop doing it. And then you'll be eternally grateful for this education, for this understanding.